All right, guess we can get started now. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Crypto World Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to today's roundtable space where we're going to be discussing all things NFT, metaverse, and GameFi. Today's exclusive coverage is going to be all things on Elrond, now rebranded to MultiversX. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not too well informed about the ecosystem, and I actually ran into XOXNO NFT, which is one of Elron's largest NFT platforms, on one of our spaces here, and I had decided to reach out to them and see if there's some innovations that we can cover over there, because you never know what can happen in the next market cycle, right? Especially now, we are in what I believe to be a super cycle. So we're joined by XOX. Sorry, guys, if I keep on mispronouncing the name. It's a bit difficult for me, but we're here with XOXNO NFT as our co-host for the day, and we're also joined by Elrond Mafia and also Zed from We Cow Cow. Those are a few products built on Elrond's regarding NFT and GameFi. And on our speaker panel, we have Grickolt, who's building Sakuri Protocol as well. So he's a good addition to when we have these discussions and special guests. And we also have Mind Games, and they're essentially building out uh, basically DeFi kingdoms on Arbitrum. So we'll be covering that in the second half of the space. So without further ado, I want to thank you guys. And if you guys enjoy these conversations and you're new to the space, feel free to follow us here at Because Bitcoin. And just to let you know, in case you're not able to stick around for these spaces the entire way, it'll be uploaded onto our YouTube shortly after the space is concluded. And feel free to follow everyone here on the speaker panel if you enjoy the content that's being produced at the moment. And towards the second half as well, we'll be opening up the some panel positions for the audience. If you have any questions, statements, anything you want to add. So without further ado, we'll just go ahead and just ask for everyone how they are and all that stuff before we get down to the nitty gritty. So, without further ado, for the individual behind the XOX profile, what's going on, man? How are you feeling today? Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, Robbie. Hi, it's Uliana. Yeah, I'm the co-founder of XOXNO. Yeah, everything is good. Thank you so much for organizing this space. Yeah, very happy to be here and excited for the conversation today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking to you prior to the space. Guys, she's a very good
Same.
ambassador for the crypto space. And yeah, what they're building on Elrond is pretty sick. The UI is nice, seamless transactions, and all those things. So, looking forward to the conversation. Grickolt, what's going on, brother? Good to have you on the panel again. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Busy day. It's around quarter to.
Could anyone hear Grickolt, by the way, or is it
Yeah, I can
just
hear
me?
him.
It's just
Oh
Bobby.
gosh. Oh no, not again, man.
Oh no.
Uh, Great. I think you might have to step down, brother. I think you might have to step down, and I'll bring you back up. Dow, what's going on, bro? What's going on, brother? Good
Hey
to have you again.
guys,
How are you
how you
today?
guys doing? Doing great. The
What's
upgrade
up,
went
Dal?
well, and look at the price of ETH. All the FUD from the haters and the BTC Maxis.
Dude, what
Uh,
did I say yesterday? I was like, the illusion of freedom is very significant. Like, I think that there will be more net inflows and outflows
yeah,
because it
I'm
creates the
sure we'll
illusion
see
of freedom. But
some price fluctuation, but I think the overall message is that it was a nothing burger. The upgrade went fine, and ETH price is gonna be fine for a while.
Awesome, man. That's right, bro. Up only, up often, up early. Payne, how are you today, brother? Good to have you up here as usual. What's going on, man? How are you feeling?
feeling pretty good, man. We got some green in the charts today. Always great. All my bags are pumping. So pretty good day. But how about
Exactly,
yourself,
man.
man?
Exactly. It's been a great year all around, bro. Elron Mafia, what's going on, man? Thank you guys so much for taking the time to come up on the stage. How are you guys doing?
Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really happy to speak with you guys. A real pleasure to meet you in this incredible space. So thanks a lot for the invitation, and I'm really happy to be here to speak with you. Thanks.
No problem, no problem. And for the individual behind Mind Games, how are you doing? Thank you so much for coming up on here.
Hey guys, thank you for having us here to chat with you. Actually, things are going well. We are with a lot of development.
You're having a bit of mic issues, brother. You're having a bit of mic issues. I'm not sure if it's your mic or if it's your connection, but you're coming in really staticky.
Okay, I'll rejoin.
Okay, no problem, man.
You guys,
And
this
for
is
Zed,
also
go
Christian
ahead.
from Mind Games, the marketing guy. Cosco here is one of the co-founders. He's in charge with the product and tokenomics and stuff. And yeah, we're very glad to be around.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to partake in this roundtable. And Zed, how are you doing, brother? Good to have you, man. As I can tell, the enthusiasts of your project are quite lively, man. We got, well over 100 likes and all that stuff, bro. What's going on? How are you feeling?
Hello. Thanks a lot for the invite. All good on my side. A bit late here, but all good. Thanks a lot for the invite, and I'm very happy to be here and connect with all of you guys.
No problem, no problem. So what I'll do as we're progressing through the conversation, I'll pin some of the content that you guys have on your respective pages up here on the Nest, so the individuals in the audience can interact with what you guys are producing. So for the listeners here, if you find interest in this conversation, I'll be posting some things on the Nest. So without further ado, I know Elrond Mafia and also Zed, they're pressed on time. Believe they only have about 30 minutes in this conversation. So we're going to go straight into it. Elrond Mafia, if you can tell us a little bit about what you're building in Elrond and what attracted you to the ecosystem. I know Benjamin, he was actually down here in Miami about
Yeah.
2 years ago, and I had met him, and really bright, young, enthusiastic individual, and a bright future ahead of him. And it seems that Elrond is shifting towards becoming the platform where gamers can find a home where they're going to experience like their Fortnites, their Dungeons and Dragons, and things of that nature. And I mean, I've only started catering my algorithm to you guys, a little over a week ago, and it's truly awesome how vibrant the community is, man. You can tell about that. Feel free to go on ahead, man. It's pretty sick what you guys are doing.
Thank you for your words. I really appreciate it. So just to begin, I represent shortly myself. I'm one of the 4 co-founders of Aeron Mafia, and as you said before, we are really focused on the gaming side, and we believe that MultiversX needs to bring more and more people because the blockchain is really huge and is really interesting in the ecosystem. So to all the listener here, I really invite everyone to check MultiversX blockchain because we have a lot of things better than other blockchains. So bring it, dig it, and you will find a strong community and really strong project that are building in this bear market. So just shortly, I could also see in this space as Zed or Nix. Nix is not a speaker here, but Nix is also building a big game in MultiversX. So we have some huge projects that are building. So just dig about it and you will find more. And just to talk shortly about Aeron Mafia, we jumped on MultiversX just 1 year ago, and we already released an alpha version on our game that is focused on the FPF side, so the PvP game. It is a pretty good success for the moment. We reached some thousand of gamers, but today we are creating another game, a game focused on an open world. This game is called Project Red, and the idea is to not only bring Web3 investors and some blockchain investor. We really believe to mix Web2 gamers like Fortnite players, like Call of Duty players, and all the PvP players bring them with the Web3 investors to really create an environment that bring the free-to-play parts and the play-to-earn parts to really correspond to this both sides. So we are building it since the beginning of L1 Mafia. We are believing that it will be open to everyone in this year. So yeah, at the moment we are really building fast to develop it for this year.
And what other things do you feel that Elrond would need in order to scale, say, on a chain like Solana, where it's really vibrant with NFTs and things of that nature? What would be like the missing component you believe in which Elrond could have sort of an edge through things like Solana?
Yeah, that's a good question, because Solana bring a lot of NFT diggers and NFT believers. So yeah, I think that's a loss for MultiversX today, because we don't have that much people that are believing in the NFT side. But I think to bring these people in to become viral in the NFT parts, I really believe that the gaming ecosystem is the way to bring this massive people in the ecosystem and in MultiversX, because gaming could bring a lot of people more than other side like PFP or this kind of NFT, because gaming is really viral to bring these people and transfer them from Web2 to Web3, because with the free to play, we are opening it to everyone. And thanks to the opening and thanks to the game, they will naturally go to the Web3 and to go to the play to earn. So I really believe that gaming is the way to bring this massive people to the Web3 ecosystem and to MultiversX, of course.
And when I checked you guys out, the first thing that I noticed was that the game looks fun, and that's the most important thing. Really, for what we saw in 2020, 2021, it was like really laggy, really buggy, almost like a half-assed version of Final Fantasy, the first Final Fantasy from the late 80s, right? It would be buggy, the transactions wouldn't go through, and I see the very curated touches that you guys put into the game that you're releasing. So I wanted to know, as far as the game is concerned, how does like the royalties mechanism work, and how is the player rewarded really for participating within the ecosystem that you guys are building out in really GameFi, true GameFi on MultiversX?
That's a really good question, because royalties for players is the most important for me from the play to earn part. So to insist about that, I didn't present L1 Mafia, but L1 Mafia is behind a studio that is called Way3 Studio. And this studio is not only focused on the game part, is only focused on different part of business, like marketing, like communication, like we are not only believing in the project create game, but we are also reaching more money from other side. And thanks to the players, thanks to the investors, and thanks to the studio that is bringing a lot of money, we will put this money, a part of this money, to the pool of the play to earn. And thanks to this huge pool, a lot of players will earn a lot of money. So that's only from the players that we will earn the some money, or from the royalties. We believe that royalties is not enough for the players to win money. So we really believe that in the future, the Way3 Studio will not only focus on the project create, but also on different parts to bring more and more money, and to bring also this money to the play to earn pool. And I think that's the biggest interest for our owner, because if you order an NFT, you can also be a play to earn player. But with this, you can also earn some money from the studio that will be bringing in the pool. And I think it's really interesting for our order today.
Guys, so I've posted up here on the nest the first slide in what Elrond Mafia is doing, and just because we're pressed on time, I want to pass it over to Dow Chemist and Grit Cult. If you guys want to bring up anything to Elrond Mafia, feel free to do so. Grit Cult, I know you've been participating in more of these NFT and GameFi spaces. So, brother, man, I hope your mic situation is resolved. I hope your connection is doing good, man. Let's hear the golden voice, bro. Let's go, man. What's going on?
Hey, is it working now?
Yeah, you're good, brother. You're good, man. If you want to chime in with what Elrond Mafia has stated, bro, the stage is all yours, man.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm just kind of looking forward to the space kind of maturing in general. I think more people working on GameFi is definitely a good thing. I mean, one thing I'd be interested in is how do we support the integration between general gaming and just like what makes it specifically blockchain. So I mean, I'd be interested in hearing your take on that, because I talked to a lot of different companies. I've worked in gaming and metaverse myself, so I've seen a lot of different kind of solutions. So I'd be interested in your guys' specific take on that.
Thank you very much, but I didn't get your question, if it was a question. But yeah, I understand that you are working, or you worked in some game ecosystem, and I really believe that from my side, the game ecosystem is the way to go to bring more and more people into the Web3. But I didn't get your question. If you had one, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I'll re-clarify. So my question is essentially, how are you specifically approaching blockchain integration with your game?
Blockchain integration. I'm not focused on the tech part, but I could, of course, speak about it. That we are partnering also with Soxno to speak about the integration, but we have some wallet connect, and to integrate all our orders to the blockchain, it's more than easy, because MultiversX bring a lot of support from the game ecosystem, and also to Project Red to put it. So we are really close to the game developer of the blockchain to be easy for the game integration. So to speak about the blockchain integration, it's really easy from us, because MultiversX is really helping us on this side. And today we are more than happy to say that we have the help of the blockchain to do that, and to be as easy to do that with the blockchain.
That's great, man. I have to ask because I can hear the accent. You from France?
Yeah, of course, I'm from France. Maybe you can hear my accent, but yeah, I'm from France.
Ah, ça fait
And you can
plaisir.
also hear that.
Ça fait plaisir.
Français.
Yeah,
Merci.
nah, that's great. It's international scene, right? So I love the description you're making Web3 gaming, and I think the context is that we've seen a lot of Web3 gaming that were basically just gamified tokenization, right? Like they weren't actually aiming to provide real games, right? And it seems that you guys are going the opposite direction, which is to say, here's a real game, and you just happen to use blockchain amongst other tools, right? Like I'm guessing for assets, right? I get to own my assets. One thing that I think we don't realize in crypto is that a lot of the things that we do in DeFi, it's only involving hundreds of thousands of people, as Captain Noah was saying yesterday. But in gaming, the potential is each massive game that captures the imagination could be bringing hundreds of millions of people on the blockchain, right? So, what do you think we are on that roadmap, right? Like between the the first iteration of Web3 gaming that were kind of crappy, and having like a proper AAA game that is onboarding hundreds of millions of users. Where are we? Are we close? Are we far? How far are we from there?
I Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that we are close, because I believe that we don't have to be Activision or Blizzard or Epic Games to build strong games that could bring millions of users and millions of players. I really believe that in not a lot of money, because we are solding a lot of NFT, but we are not reaching millions of dollars to build games. But I really believe that with this money and with the experience and with the time we have to build games, and with the experience that our community and also our orders have to follow us in the development of the game, I really believe that we are close from Blizzard and to Activision to bring this millions of users that we need to really be on their side. But we are close, but also we are far, because today I think money is really important to for the communication and for the marketing. Because today, if you want to bring Web2 gamers into Web3, you have to speak to Web2 gamers. Like, you don't have to use NFT, you don't have to use blockchain. You have to be really simple in the communication, as simple as possible. Like you can see on Fortnite or on Call of Duty, they are really simple in the communication. And this is our goal. We don't want to be really difficult to integrate, or really difficult to be accessible to everyone. So the main idea is, if we want to be as close as we can to Activision and to Blizzard game, we have to be simple in the communication, but really strong in the game. So that's why we are taking the time to build it, and the time to try it with our community as much as possible to make it possible to integrate Web2 gamers.
I definitely agree with everything that's being said here on the space. Thank you so much, Ron Mafia. I truly believe that like
Thank you.
what's being built out on this infrastructure should cater in mind to the individuals in Web 2, right? So your Fortnites, your Call of Duties, and things like that. And with things like it might be a bit controversial, but with the Solana phone coming out next month, and other blockchains that are going to be releasing in the next 12 months, like Saga. I think that, like, slowly but surely, I think the blockchain space is going to replicate what the tech space did from the late 80s all the way to the tech bubble in 2000, where you just had a huge influx of gaming become part of the culture, right? And you go to any major city here in the US, right? Like Miami, for example, right, where I'm at. You go to Wynwood, you'll see Bored Ape graffiti, you'll see Doodles graffiti. You'll see like Solana Monkey Business graffiti and all that stuff. And you're even having like NFT pieces being featured in art galleries and all that stuff. So I find that to be pretty sick. So you guys are building something nice, man. So awesome stuff, awesome stuff.
Thank
And
you. Thank you very much.
yeah, man, yeah. So we'll pass it over to Zed.
Yeah.
And Zed, what's going on, man? How are you feeling, brother? What are you guys building over at Wee Cow Cow, man? What's going on, bro?
What's going
Hey,
on, Zed?
hey.
How you doing, man?
So, Cow Cow is a storytelling Web3 lifestyle brand, a community centric project. Why I say a community centric project? Because, as you know, the community is the most important thing in a project. Um, without a strong community, you can't have a successful project, in my opinion, and that's the most important thing. And to answer to your question regarding what the MultiversX NFTs miss to become like Solana NFTs, well known as Solana NFTs, because as you know, when you say Solana, the first thing that you are thinking on are the NFTs. And what I think MultiversX NFTs miss is the activity of the community, which is the most important thing, because we need to be louder and louder and to make more noise outside of the MultiversX NFTs bubble. That's what I'm thinking. MultiversX NFTs needs to become well known. And to give you some quick updates regarding our project and what we are building at this moment. It's on 23 of April. Our own staking platform will be ready. We'll drop a token, a fair launch token, What means fair launch? The team, the investors, nobody will have tokens, pre-minting tokens. The only way to get tokens will be through staking. Also, we'll drop a few weeks after our own staking platform will be ready, a raffle platform and a merch store. These are the next few steps on our journey.
Awesome, man. Love it. I put something up on the nest, and it's a photo of a cow drawing a cow Mona Lisa, and it looks pretty peaceful, man. And I'm a big enthusiast of peace, so it kind of reminds me of like Bob Ross, integrated with your collection, man. So I find that pretty cool, man. Dal, if there's anything that you want to add to what he had said about what they're doing with the lifestyle stuff, feel free to do so, man. That's a bit out of my expertise zone, man. I know you're more well versed in the PFP side of stuff.
Yeah, that was really interesting. But I actually would throw it back at you. Like, how's the NFT scene in Miami? Because I know there's some cool events happening in New York, but you mentioned Woodwood. I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, so with the NFTs here, and Elron Mafia and Zed, you guys can chime in because I know Benjamin comes here, like every 6 months or something. But essentially, like you'll have events where it'll be it's like this Pokemon Go thing, where you like search for NFTs, and it's sort of like this Pokemon Go thing. I forgot what the collection was, but it was featured last year. And also, whenever there's like some rappers here, they'll have like a giveaway and all that stuff. And that PFP will give the recipient some exclusive stuff, like two free merch drops that happen in the year that you can redeem, some discounts for stuff, like a VIP entrance to a club whenever that rapper comes in. So little perks here and there, but it's usually related to like festivities, so like concerts, venues, little conferences as well. But like the NFT meetups and all that stuff, they're done in like outdoor venues, not really like inside conference centers or things like that. And so with the NFTs here in Miami, that's essentially like the perks. And we're even seeing some like IP companies come on. So what things look like over the next cycle, like over the next 2 to 3 years, is you'll have some NFT companies or projects, whatever you want to label them as. They'll start having like drinks, bubble gum, and even when you go to events, and I've seen this before, but like when you go to Disney World and you get like the Mickey Mouse ice creams. Has anyone here been to Disney World? I'm hoping we have some Disney enthusiasts here in the crowd.
I did, but it was a while back, but I remember that.
Yeah, so like you'll have like ice cream shaped NFT stuff. It's a bit out there, but I feel that like with personal touches, right? That's like it shouldn't just be like, okay, we met, and then we raised some money for the founder's next project, and nothing's being built out except Twitter Spaces, right? And I feel like there should be more than that. And so I feel like with things like exclusive group access, conference access, discount, to make it like a more personable approach, that should be a priority. And I think like making things fun should should be like first and foremost more than anything.
Yeah, I hear that. And the reason I was asking is because I think there's like a good fusion between how NFT project like Cow Cow, for example, are focusing on lifestyle and bringing the world of crypto into everyday life, right? Whether you're in New York or Miami, going to events. I think that was the biggest key of the success of the Bored Apes was able to make people feel like, hey, with this Bored Ape, I'm part of a community, which is very important. but I'm also part of a lifestyle, right? A way of being, expressing myself, and wherever I'm at, I carry that with me, right? And I think for a lot of people, when they come into crypto, it's a lot easier to wrap their mind around that than to wrap their mind around like a DeFi protocol or decentralization or permissionlessness, right? So maybe Cal or Zed, can you touch on that? Like, how do your lifestyle differ maybe from other project, and what's the phases of your collection?
Mm. First of all, in my opinion, when you talk about an NFT community, the comparison that I like to do is like when you have a job from 9 to 5. Um, Cow, our Discord, our subDAOs groups are the place where you can relax. You know, after you finish your job and you can engage with other people. You can increase your network and you know, to have fun. This is the most important thing in my opinion. That in Cow community you have fun.
Yeah, man, I like what you said, Dow Chemist, about about like the adoption potential for NFTs. I think that they're probably going to be like way bigger than coins ever were, and I've said that a bunch. But I truly think that, I mean, there's a lot of people who will who will buy something to look cool online, or like, I mean, just look at like luxury markets since the beginning of time. Like, that's just that, and that's just one aspect of it, just like the online flex of it. Like, people have literally been buying people have been buying things to like look aesthetically pleasing, like since the beginning of time, essentially. And there's no reason that as we go more and more online, that won't continue to occur. And I think like people haven't really wrapped their heads around like, oh, like, you know, like when you see someone with like whatever, like a Louis Vuitton jacket, like most 95% of people recognize like, oh, that's an expensive item, that's really cool, or whatever. Like, you know, and so when you see that online too, it has a similar effect. And it's just like the amount of people that'll like recognize the value of it over time is only going to increase. And there's a lot of people that don't want to like look at a chart, you know, and like trade a coin, but they'll buy like a cute picture or a you know, some kind of pass. Like, there's also cool adoption like within Austin as well for NFTs. Like, there's a ton of different NFT meetups all the time, and then like every big event, there's usually like, you know, we have Consensus, South by Southwest. There's all these different projects that come down, but there's also like ATX DAO, which is basically proof of concept of like what we were talking about earlier, where there it was like a couple, it was like a year or two ago that it minted out, but it was just like a DAO of like 500 people, a lot of them from UT. And they like, if you minted this, you got to be in like the ATX DAO. Like, it's just like a networking tool essentially. And it's cool because they throw parties like all the time that are pretty high budget during all the events. And so like, if you have the DAO pass or whatever, you get exclusive access to those events and stuff. And so yeah, I mean, it's already happening. It's not even like this is theoretical per se. It's not like it's not like vaporware or anything. Like, people are literally using this to the day, you know, for real utility. And I think that's, once people realize that, like how cool that is, and how it's, you know, no matter what happens, you will always have that thing. Like, I think that owning something, if you're gonna own something on the internet, like owning it on chain is the purest form of ownership. So
Awesome, man. Awesome. So now I want to bring it over to XOXNO NFT, who's our co-host for this episode. So I see you guys, outside of you know, having an NFT marketplace, you guys also have an NFT aggregator, and you guys offer things like NFT staking, all those things. And you know, I'm coming here completely transparent, and you know, telling you guys in the audience that, like, hey, I'm not that involved with the NFT markets. I'm here trying to learn, and that's why we're hosting these spaces, so it can be, you know, educational, and we can share what you guys are all about, and also me as a host also learning from what you guys are presenting. So if you can go into like concise detail about what you guys are building out on Elrond and sort of the cool features that you guys offer that some other leading NFT platforms might not have on other protocols. I'd appreciate it. And thank you all so much for coming on. And once again, shout out to our other special guests, Elrond Mafia and Zed. I've posted a ton of stuff here on the Nest so you guys can engage with their content and their products and all of those things. And if you guys, are new to the space, feel free to follow us here because Bitcoin. And also, feel free to retweet the space as well, so we can get more Elrond enthusiasts up into the space. It would really help if you guys could help retweet this live. And I also see some other individuals that are bullish on all things Elrond. I see Meta Unicorn. If you want to come up, I sent you an invite to speak. And I also sent in an invite to speak to Globies, which from what it seems to be an ecologically responsible and sustainable vacation rentals built on Elrond. So that's a bit far out to my understanding. But if you guys want to come up and join the conversation, would love to have you, man. And we're just going to be a bunch of bees in here buzzing around about Elrond and having some fun. So let's get into it. Let's dig our hand into the honey jar, and yeah, let's see what XOX is all about. What's going on, guys?
Hey, thank you for giving me the mic. So I'll try to explain our concept and the main features that we offer. So first of all, as you already said, we are not only an NFT marketplace, we also act as an aggregator, NFT launchpad. We also have NFT swap and staking. So our concept is kind of to be the all-in-one NFT platform where you can do all the things that are related to MultiversX NFTs. Yeah, so we've been in this space since the very beginning. That there have been a lot. What happened? We rebranded. Previously, we were actually Trust Market. Now it's XOX, no? And yeah, we are functioning as a fully decentralized platform because all our features are built on top of the smart contracts via smart contracts. So we are not a centralized marketplace. And regarding the comparison to other chains, we actually try to have all the tools that are like the most relevant to comparing to the other chains like Ethereum or Solana. For example, we just recently introduced deposit pools. It functions the same as the bidding pools on Blur, but adapted to our chain and also like our platform. And we also have NFT staking. So that's the concept that I haven't personally seen on other platforms. Yeah, the creator can register his collection, and then he opens a staking pool, and then his community can deposit NFTs, and then the rewards are distributed, right? So that's how the staking works. That's one thing that we have, and other chains don't, other platforms don't. And then we also have NFT swap. Which is also rare to have like on the NFT marketplace. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We have lots of stuff.
That's cool. So like what's some of the benefits of like NFT staking on Elrond?
What's the benefit of staking NFT on Elrond? Well, it's based on the project you choose, right? So some projects give rewards as EGLD, for example, or some of them distribute their own token. Here you have to see if it's something relevant for you. Yeah, but that's the main. That's what you get in return.
That's cool. So like, is it I'm not very familiar with Elrond. I've traded ETH NFTs for a long time, but what would be the benefit of using Elrond like over something like Ethereum for NFTs?
So the main benefits from what I see, it's first the fees, because the transaction fees are much lower, like they're like 0.0001 dollar. Then the transactions are also fast. Like one transaction happens in under, like, I think 6 seconds. So all the like the chain is fast, and yeah, the low fees. So this kind of removes barrier for the let's say Web2 users that are not used to pay like high fees. For example, they can more like easier, and they can easier enter the space. Let's say, yeah, that these are the main benefits related to the chain itself. Also, well, I actually forgot about one. On Elrond, you actually have the real ownership over your NFTs. So you keep it like you have it like in your wallet, and no one like can do anything with it. So yeah, that's actually that's the main benefit. Sorry guys, it's a bit late for me, so yeah.
So
No, it's
how
all
does
good. I think the low transaction fees is a good benefit, because that's like part of the reason that Solana blew up with NFTs, because people couldn't afford to use them on ETH. Like on Solana, it'd be like it's like 2 cents or something for a transaction. It's super cheap, and so they saw a lot of traction last cycle from people coming over there that didn't necessarily have like 10 grand to throw around on ETH. So I definitely think that's a positive benefit.
So how does the NFT launchpad process work? I've never delved into that process. Typically, with like an IDO launchpad on ETH, you send your ETH and then you go through a small vesting period for your respective token. Does it sort of like work in the same fashion where you send in your e-gold, and then like however many PFPs you mint, it's given to you slowly over time, or are you given your PFPs all at once?
So here it's you get your NFTs all at once. So then, if, for example, if the mint is crowdy, let's say, then for some people they will they might get not all the NFTs, but then they will get the refund. But yeah, you get the NFTs as soon as you pay, and it's all via the smart contract as well. So also all fully decentralized. Yeah, and also recently we introduced a feature where you can buy NFTs with fiat, like with your credit or debit card. And actually, what's has been like surprising for us is that actually we see every day like tens of transactions that are made via the cards. So yeah, that's we are trying to also make it easier for new people in the space, who even don't have, like, I don't know, like for some people it's hard to buy EGLD, like, or just to go through the process of buying tokens, right? So this way they can just at least get a wallet. It's easier, and then they buy with the card. Yeah. So it's relevant in case, for example, we have NFTs on our marketplace from the biggest conference like in Romania, which is called Big Minds, Brand Minds, sorry. And they launched these NFTs that give you access to all of their future conferences, like ever. It's like your forever ticket. And their audience is not crypto at all. And yeah, it has been kind of useful for their case.
Thank you so much for that kind and descriptive details about your guys' platform. So I want to shift it
Sure, thank
over.
you.
No problem, no problem. Good to have you here. So I wanted to shift it over to a follow up discussion, more like a roundtable discussion. Now that everybody has introduced themselves, sort of given their thoughts on the NFT market and all those things and what they're building on. So my question is going to be for Elrond Mafia. If you want to start off with this, currently at the moment, with what we know as GameFi, it's sort of stuck to a laptop, right? And gamers at the moment are stuck on the PC, but also on mobile integration. It's sort of like 50-50 in a way. So with the NFT and GameFi landscape, what should be the priority really in making the next wave of adoption? Are you guys looking more towards like the desktop experience and perhaps like a decentralized app store with you know you can just click a button and you download your favorite DApp, or do you think it's going to be things like mobile integration with what Uniswap is doing, right, or what Coinbase is doing, where you're able to access everything through a mobile device? How far do you think we are from those like seamless experiences where really, as you say, the front end user really wouldn't even have to know that like, oh, this is like crypto or whatever? Oh, that was for Elrond Mafia. You guys able to
Sorry,
hear
I
me?
didn't get your question, mate.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I was basically asking, like, what do you think is gonna kick off for the next cycle? Do you think it's gonna be more like mobile integration, where it's gonna be like seamless experiences with what Coinbase is doing for decentralized apps, or do you think it's gonna be more focused towards like the desktop experience? Because really, from mobile integration, all we have at the moment is the Coinbase experience or the Uniswap experience, right? And for desktop, really all we have is like either AMMs or things like DeFi. Everything else is sort of like slow and clunky and not many users at the current moment.
Yeah, I agree with you because mobile is really difficult to build and to integrate on our side because we are really focused on desktop. But to be honest, mobile is a really strong side because it brings millions of users and in players. So maybe Airone Mafia will build something for mobile maybe in the future. But to be honest, today we are really focused on the desktop part. But to be honest, the mobile part is really interesting for us because it's not the same community as on console or on desktop. So maybe in the future, mobile is the way to go for the blockchains because it can bring a lot of players in the ecosystem and a lot of investors as well. So I don't know. Maybe in the future it could be really interesting, but I think for the blockchain, desktop is the way to go for the moment. But in the future, if the integration is easiest is in mobile, it could be really interesting.
Grit, with what you're doing at Sukori, do you feel that mobile would sort of be like the first mover advantage in integrating with what you want to do, combining like Web 2 and Web 3 businesses together, and perhaps work with somebody like Elrond Mafia that's striving towards catering to actual customers
Yeah.
and retention of those customers, because that's what's important, right? Like, it doesn't really matter if you attract an influx of users for 2 to 3 months. What matters is, you know, longevity, the retention of said users.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. I literally was about to put my hand up and request to talk, so I'm glad you kind of picked on me. But yeah, I definitely kind of agree that I think mobile is definitely a huge advantage, mainly because mobile games, or more the kind of like tabletop games, they have shorter development cycles, so you can actually ship a product in mobile gaming a lot quicker than you can in virtual reality, AAA, massive multiplayer online kind of thing. So yeah, I think on that end, innovation is just quicker to implement. We have signed some partnerships with games that are on the Android store, and Android is pretty relaxed with letting things go on there, especially with crypto and blockchain. And that's what I was kind of alluding to earlier regarding the blockchain integration of how the game would interact with it, because I think the how it interacts with the blockchain affects the immersion. Like last year or 2 years ago, you'd have to stop the game, pause, switch your app, and then go to MetaMask, log in, and then sign transactions. What we're kind of seeing now, and the technology that Sakuri, my project that we're building, is kind of building, is a lot of the blockchain stuff will be on the backside. You will never interact with, having to sign onto your wallet. We're also looking at NPC wallets, where they are custodial, but they're all controlled by another kind of like interface that you can actually, you can actually get, and you actually own it. But a lot of the kind of key management systems are taken care of. So on that end, I think a lot of the back end stuff, which is important, and but it was very clunky. So having to log in, having to like remember your keys and stuff. I think that's slowly going, and then the user experience and the user journey is it's being simplified like crazy, and we're building on account abstraction, and with account abstraction, like I've talked to you guys about it quite a lot of the kind of like user experience gets massively improved. You can have like gasless transactions on the layer one. There's all these other things you can do that make things just easier for the end user. So I think, yeah, mobile is definitely the way to go for like short term. But I think all the innovations that are being implemented in gaming, on mobile gaming, are going to be on consoles and AAA, even VR kind of things. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we are working with mobile games already, and it's a lot easier to kind of work with them, because they're already live and have shipped. So
I'll pass it over to Zed. Zed, how do you think future NFT mints could look like? Do you think we'll always be stuck on, using our wallets and all that stuff, or do you think we'll be able to do these things through like things like gaming consoles and things of that nature, or perhaps even like one thing that I've been throwing around is sort of like a pre-order model, right? Where you know how you reserve a video game, right? Well, perhaps there can be some collections where you can have like a reserve for a mint. Do you think that would be possible?
Well,
Oh, it's kind
that's
of a
like a white
two-part
list.
question.
That's basically a whitelist.
I know. But the process is different, dude. Like what if I'm kind of thinking outside the box here, right? Because if I go to the Xbox Marketplace, if I go to the PlayStation Store, I can reserve a game, and like I won't have any issues at all. But even things with whitelist is sort of like a race, you know. So I know it's a bit out there, and I'm thinking more of
No,
Web
I
three.
totally see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wanted to know from
Yeah,
Zed.
the only the
Mm,
Go ahead, Payne. Go ahead.
yeah,
there you go.
I don't know what to say. I don't think in the near future we will see a different way of minting NFTs, like the one you said. I don't think we'll see something like that in the near future.
Oh well, I'll just say that we actually have seen something like that already with the one collection I have seen that's done it completely differently is the Reddit NFTs. And so those are pretty interesting because like I'm sure many of you are familiar with Reddit. You can have like your little avatars, right? Well, last year they dropped those avatars as NFTs, and you buy them with a debit card. So like you don't pay an ETH, you just literally buy them with a debit card, and your Reddit account has a Polygon wallet in the back end. So like you have a Polygon address if you have a Reddit account, and that's what's crazy. And that's where I think it's gonna go. Personally, is because, and same with the Trump cards too. Actually, also on Polygon, you bought those
So
like with a debit card, and
so
so
Yeah,
a big part
I'll
of
just say
why
I think
hardware took a seat back was because of hardware limitations related to materials
yeah.
protections.
But oh, sorry, you cut off for me, Kimchi.
I'm just exiting work. Go ahead, Feel Pain. Finish your thought.
Oh no, yeah. So I was just saying those are two instances where it was cool because people like had these and they didn't really know they were an NFT necessarily. Like with the Trump cards, yeah, they did a little more because it was marketed as an NFT. But with the Reddit ones, it was a digital collectible. Like they said, hey, these are Reddit digital collectibles, so you can pay like whatever. They ranged from like $20 to $100 for like the first drop, and you bought it with a debit card, and then you could use it on Reddit as your avatar. So like it works differently, like you can whatever you bought, whenever you post on Reddit or comment, people can click on your profile and see your avatar. But if you want to sell it, then you got to send it to a new wallet on OpenSea. And so it's cool because it's like most people just bought them to use them on Reddit, but you can also sell them. And so it's cool to see all these Redditors basically have the epiphany of like, oh wait, this is like an NFT I can trade. Like, why do we hate these again? And
Right. So
yeah.
NFTs are not about what the value is. It's about the experience, right? We don't care about what these pictures really do. The PFPs, provide you access to an emotional experience. They're like similar to how console games or even PC games, like yeah, there was the actual act of playing, that was something, but there was something ethereal about going to the store, picking up that box, putting in the little CD, going through the motions of getting the hardware ready, the memory cards, buying like skins for your controller. We're gonna see something similar with NFTs. Like, remember how you used to be able to buy like those little action figures or stickers by putting in coins in a slot, pushing in that little silver slot machine thingy, and then you rotate it twice, and you hear the little ball roll out with an action figure or sticker. You're gonna see something similar, like a childlike experience to NFT minting. It's not gonna like NFT minting is never going to be is not going to be restricted to using a 2D screen on a MetaMask or on your web app. That, to me, that's very naive of what it can be. It might be the near future, sure, but once the hardware limitations sizzle out, like yeah, you can be as creative and flexible with NFT minting as you can be. It can be a, what is it? That was easy button that could be attached to an NFT minting experience. You already see web apps starting to get a little funky with, because the minting portals are pretty lame.
yeah, definitely. I think there will be, different creatives way to mint an NFT, and also the minting with your credit or debit card. I don't think it's like something very very new. As I know, on XOX now you can do this thing as well, and you don't even need a wallet. Am I wrong?
Well, you can mint with fiat, but right now you need a wallet. Like, actually, our next steps, like this year, it will be to have a custodial wallet where when a person pays with the card, right, where then we store his NFTs in our smart contract or whatever, and then if you want to claim it and trade, he send it to his wallet. That's exactly how Reddit works. But right now we don't have it yet. It's on our roadmap for this year.
Guys, so I wanted to bring it over to Mind Games. They've been patiently waiting, and I feel like the individual behind it would have some pretty good insights on everything that's going on. They're also building what's sort of called this GameFi. So, Mind Games, if you want to chime in, feel free to go ahead, man. The stage is all yours, and I want to thank you for your patience. And we have a couple of requests coming in. So we'll start bringing some or done with their statements. So we'll go over to mind games and then over to Don Paulo, and then after that, after Don Paulo speaks, I'll go ahead and bring up our boy Flu. I just saw that he requested. So what's going on, mind games?
Yeah. So, Costco, if you're here, I think it would be better for you to speak, but we can't hear you. I don't know if you're saying something.
Oh, you're not able to hear me at the moment.
No. I was saying to Costco that I can't hear him.
Oh, yeah. He's still requesting to speak. So I'll bring both Flu and Cusco up after Don Paulo makes his statement or brings up his question. What's going on, Don Paulo?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me up. I'm not here to talk about a specific project, but what's up, Uliana? Zed? Is that Voster over there? Um, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to quickly talk about where I think everything is. Me personally, think everything is going to be going. Has anyone mentioned the X Portal app? King?
I don't think so. Why don't you tell us about that?
All right, X Portal app is MultiversX app created by the team for the network specifically. Um, just a quick background on me: I come from stock market, so I'm a little bit more looking for company orientated things rather than just for fun. But I dig the fun too, right? Not hating on anybody. But X Portal app is very, very interesting. And I challenge every single person here who hasn't looked into the X Portal app, please do, and see for yourself. I don't got to pump it. You'll be amazed because you'll start thinking just like I'm thinking that everything is going to go through this app. And they're setting it up now. I heard you guys speaking earlier. That's why I raised my hand earlier about avatars. It seems that you can create an avatar with the X Portal. Well, you can create an avatar right now with the X Portal app. But the interesting aspect of that is this avatar might in the future be able to travel with you into different metaverses or games. There's a lot going on in MultiversX other than the NFTs. Now, the NFTs are great, don't get me wrong. But wow, the X Portal app is I everybody from MVX knows I say this all the time. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the My Air app, which then transformed into the X Portal app. I wouldn't be here if I got onboarded through MetaMask or Phantom Wallet. And it's not a shit on them. It's not a shit. It's just my preference. It's me. But
Yeah, man,
So,
we hear you, man.
what do you like
Yeah.
about? I'm just curious, like, what do you like about X Portal over like MetaMask or Phantom?
it's the robustness, the options that you have. I think, and mind you, listen, I'm not even that deep into MetaMask. I don't even have a MetaMask. I'm going based upon what my friends are telling me, and my own usage of Phantom, because they lack the functionalities that the X Portal has, and also what I wanted to touch on here, and like I said, everybody has their own opinions, and that's fine. Some people might like MetaMask over X Portal, and that's fine. I'm just saying check it out. And the other thing I would say for everyone to definitely check out is what's called X Money, which is the combination of TwizPay and Utrust. Utrust is a Portuguese company with full regulatory approval, and
Yeah.
those are going to be very, very interesting aspects of the MultiversX network And yeah, that's all. Those two things that I wanted to bring up was
Thanks,
X
man.
Portal and X
Appreciate you,
Money.
bro.
Thanks, guys.
No problem, man.
Yeah,
Real
real quick. I'm not familiar with X Money, for example. Oh, you go for it, King.
Yeah. No, I was gonna bring up Cusco. Now that Don Paulo finished his statement with his enthusiasm uh, with X Portal and U Trust. I remember U Trust, man, from Superman, bro, in 2017. I think they were like an ICO or
Holy
something like that.
shit.
Yeah.
Kosko
What's up?
only has fucking 86 followers.
What's up, Flu? How are you doing today,
86
brother?
followers. Bro, I'm good. I'm chilling. Here's the thing, dude. Like Kosko is like kind of a legend, and he has 86 followers. This shit is crazy. All right, so I'm just like as a favor. By the way, hi Grit Cult. How you fucking doing, bro? Like it's been a long time.
I'm doing good, bro. Nice to hear you.
Absolutely, bro. It's good to see you again. I know that you've been doing big things, bro.
Guys,
So
Flu is gonna be a
Grit
main
Colt's killing
character,
it.
bro. Flu is gonna be a main character for the next cycle, man. I'm calling it. I'm calling it here, man. He's gonna be a next main character. What's going on, bro? Good to have
Hey,
you up,
you're a
man.
Texan. Hey, you're a Texan too, Flu. Hell yeah.
yeah, and I live in Fort Worth, Texas. So
That's
anybody
where my
ever
mom's from. Yeah, I'm from Austin, so
awesome, dude. Like if anyone ever comes through DFW, like hit me up, no problem. I'll take you out. We'll go to the barbecue, and then you'll pay.
hell yeah, man. I'll take
Korean
you
And
up on that.
barbecue.
And then you'll pay, bro. You hear that, man?
yeah, yeah. I'm a little broke. Costco doesn't pay me that much. You know what I mean? Like it's fine. But if everyone could do me a favor personally and follow Costco, because Costco is gonna be like you talking about how I'm gonna be a main character this next cycle. I was a main character last cycle. I'm bored of being the main character, right? Right? I don't need to be the main character. What I want to do is I want to find really, really talented people and I want to make sure that they get that main character spot. That's my goal for this next cycle. That's all I care about. And I think that Costco is going to be one of those people because Costco over here is building this game, Mind Games. It's the first deck slash game that I've supported since DFK, like period. Because I don't mess with him. But he came to me. He had a vision. He told me about his vision, and I vibed with it so hard that I decided to throw myself behind it. But I'm not gonna speak for him. So Costco, can you tell us about mind games?
Hey guys,
And
thank you for
also can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your history?
yeah, sure, I can do that. Thank you for your kind introduction. Can you guys hear me well now? It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's somewhat better, man. Somewhat, but we
Yeah,
can hear you
and
clearly. We can hear you
I
clearly.
think it's the best bandwidth that I can find at this hour. It's quite late at my place, somewhere in the middle of the night. Hey guys, nice to be here, and I guess my games community. It's very excited. Yeah, so I can tell you a few words about the project that we're working on. As Flu said, we are trying to do some unique stuff in terms of especially gameplay. Um, so starting with the beginning, w- we are we sprouted with the layer decks, which is the heart of the whole GameFi hub ecosystem. And starting from there, we've developed a few unique game modes on top of it. Our aim is to create a GameFi hub where you can actually use the existing assets in all of the game modes. And I've been hearing you guys talking about the adoption of users into Web3 from Web2, and with the like the nuance like having the spotlight on big amount of players and so on. We have a kind of a different approach in terms that we've w- we've observed in the previous cycles that um, games are getting better and so on, but I don't think there is a game right now or games that are currently having this opportunity to retain the crypto users, DeFi users. So I think our vision is that before we start to have like the desire to uh, onboard like masses of people like games are doing and so on, I think we should also try to establish like a few strong pillars in terms of gameplay of games actually for the DeFi users. So this is what we are trying to do, and we're trying to doing this by focusing especially on the gameplay. We're trying to introduce some cool DeFi mechanics to create a cool synergy with the gameplays that we have. Yeah, so we have the Cortex as layer zero for the for the protocol, and above that we have the NFTs that are going to be used in all the game modes. And the first game mode that I can talk to you guys about, and which is actually in beta right beta testing. The community is actually trying it, finding bugs and so on, and the feedback is quite positive. The arena, it's basically a card game, a trading card game where you can use the Mines NFT. You can find them on the tavern on our website. Um, yeah,
That's mind
basically,
games. By the way, guys and girls and everybody who cares, um, everybody, mindgames.io is what he's talking about. And Kosku, your experience in the space, right? Like where have you worked before? Can you? I know that
oh,
we've been
sure.
saving this.
I speak about the project. I can stop ranting about it. Yeah, so my experience before this, basically, I'm into crypto from 2016. Big on Ethereum. I was amazed about the smart contract possibilities and so on. I've started with Bitcoin, of course, but like the full possibilities of smart contracting was amazing to me. And um, after I started with the Ethereum rabbit hole, like 2 years ago, I got myself hired at Consensus, working for MetaMask as a support engineer, and basically I was trying to help communities to basically like let's say Matic when first Matic launched, they had this implementation with MetaMask, and yeah, I was there to like aid the whole process and so on. Yeah, so I've been working a bit at Consensus for a MetaMask product, and right after that, I just jump in with all my time into full Degen DeFi farming and so on, like in 2020. And yeah, I've been into DeFi from since day one, from the DeFi summer and finance and so on.
So here's the thing, like Dow Chemist, you got your hand up, man. What's up? I know you got questions, but man, dude, what do you think, bro? This dude went from working on MetaMask to like starting his own game and decks because he was like that confident in that he had like something to do, something to show for it. What do you say?
Yeah, hey, what's up, Flu? Yeah, I think what's interesting there is, especially if you've been in crypto since 2016, you've seen a lot of the shifting in narratives, right? And
Yeah,
when we got into Web3 gaming, the narrative was really around, using smart contract and getting like the existing community into playing a game. But what I'm hearing about Mind Games is it's more around really focusing on the gameplay. And I think that shift from, hey, let's just gamify a game to actually focusing on the gameplay that's probably where we're going to get the first success at. Whether it's a AAA game or an indie game like Mind Games, I think focusing on gameplay is going to be number one. If I had to guess, number two, three, four, and five is going to be the wallet, right? So the fact that you work for Consensus on MetaMask, I'm sure you can kind of see a lot of ways to improve how to onboard players, and that's the thing that we're missing, man, in crypto. Like, in my humble opinion, that's where we get the biggest win. If we onboard the gamers, and it's easy for them to build to just set up a wallet, right? Just like Web2, but they still get the non-custodial aspect of a wallet. I mean, we can onboard so many people. They don't necessarily need to know about DeFi. They just play the game, and boom, your assets are in your wallets, and boom, you got a marketplace that's really easy to use. And so I think the people that have been in the space for a while, and not necessarily 2016, but those of us who've seen the shift in narrative, we can kind of appreciate that. Okay, the first narrative was just, hey, we're gonna make game better because we have smart contract, and we had some games. I'm not gonna name them, but most of them were bullshit, to be honest. But I'm glad to hear from the builders, even the previous guest, that there's more than phases on the gameplay, and that's key. And then that's why I was asking the question earlier. I don't know if you were there, Flu, but I think there's got to be one game that captured the imagination. So who knows? It's going to be a AAA game or an indie game, but it's got to be around gameplay and it's got to be around onboarding users. So the wallet experience has to be key.
Dude, I think that's like number one is that it's not even just the wallet experience, it's the game experience that goes on past it, right? The wallet experience, I'm almost of the opinion that we shouldn't even worry about the wallet experience because we shouldn't ever have to know that we're using a wallet, right? And that's like another layer of abstraction that's probably not going to happen for a bit. But even having like a responsibly built game that's not focused on like just like absolute trash tokenomics is like it's good. I think that Web3 gaming is always going to have a spot for Web3 games that are for Web3 people and that are like in there and doing this for the culture. They're in the like Grit knows they got that network spirituality to them, right? Like you gotta be in it for the actual culture and for like the people who want to learn, who want to come in there and like experience it as a financialized gaming like experience, not just as like a web 2 gaming experience like a lot of people are doing. And so there's a place for the abstraction side and then there's a place for current version of mind games where like yeah, you got to know a little bit about MetaMask because that's where the majority of like the early sort of situations that you'll be getting yourself into, that's where those are. Like I bought Jewel from DeFi Kingdoms at 5 cents. I bought it at the same time that the dev did. Just by chance. I didn't even work for the team at that point. And like only reason I was able to do that is because I knew what I was doing. I was early. And so like it's a thing where I think it's always gonna exist. There's gonna be this Web3 for Web3 people. And yeah. Anyway, sorry, Kosku, continue talking about the experience that you want to build. Like are you aiming to do your own wallet experience or are you trying to abstract that some of that away or what are the goals that you think as far as like wallet management for your eventual customers?
So, our vision it's not that strong in terms of wallets and accessibility of Web2 users onto the Web3, and there is a good reason for it. Um, in order to convince someone to have to start the learning curve, they have to like have a great reason to do it, right? So I don't think we have right now like so when we are talking about our gameplay, we can talk about the closest one, which is the arena, and the arena is basically similar to Hearthstone. And my point is in terms of wallets and the adoption, it's imagine I'm sure most of you guys know about Hearthstone. Imagine if people, when first Hearthstone was launched, if people had to like learn about MetaMask and so on. Um, say Blizzard was a Web3 company back then, it's quite impossible, but for the sake of the argument, yeah, I mean, people would have learned. I think to actually,
Hey, brother, you're rugged, man.
yeah, I think my internet connection is not quite well. Can you hear me better now?
No,
Nah, that's
it's pretty bad, brother.
yeah.
Try like exiting the space and then coming back in because you were fine right when you came in,
Yeah, leave and
but
come back.
anyways, guys, Zed does have to go from We Cow Cow, and also Elrond Mafia go. So feel free to follow them, guys. Feel free to follow Elrond Mafia to keep up to date with what they're doing on MultiversX. And I posted some of their stuff up here on the nest. So on behalf of Because Bitcoin and myself, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Thank you so much for partaking
Thank you.
in our discussion and all that stuff. God bless you all. God bless
Thank
your
you
family,
guys so
your
much.
friends.
Take care.
God, yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And feel free to
Always
come
a
Thank
back.
pleasure,
you.
Thank you,
Wabi.
Blue.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you to
Thank you, guys.
Grateful. Thank you to Dal,
See you
Zed,
soon, guys.
Vinci.
Really love you guys. Thank you.
Of
Thank you
course. Take
guys a
care.
lot for having me this night. It was a pleasure, and it was a great space. See you soon.
No problem, man. Looking forward
See
to
ya.
having you back on here relatively shortly, man. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Take care. Bye
See ya,
bye.
guys. Ciao, ciao.
If anybody else in the audience wants to come up, we have two speaker slots open. So if anybody in the audience wants to come up and talk some shop, feel free to do so. Just click button in the bottom left, and I'll bring you right on up. So yeah, and in case you guys are new to the space, my name's Wabi. I host these spaces throughout the week, and a multi-chain space. You know, different products building on ETH and Cosmos at the same time, sort of like a virtual summit. Or a plethora of projects building on the same chain, just as we had on earlier with the Multiverse X. And sometimes we just have something more that's more technical, right? Like tomorrow we'll be hosting Eigenlayer and their co-founder Ram. Look forward to that. That's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time. On our panel, we're going to be joined by chemists. And also for next week, we're going to be hosting Ben Cowan from Into the Cryptoverse, and we're also going to be hosting Leslie Lamb and some of the folks from the OpenX Exchange. Look forward to that next week. So once again, if you guys want to come up, feel free to click that request button. And if you're in these spaces, feel free to follow us here and turn on bell notifications. We're here joined by Flu. He just came up minutes ago, and we've before on the platform. He's worked on a variety of products before, and recently trainer in France on Arbitrum. So feel free to check out his work as well. And yeah, we're just talking off metaverse, GameFi, NFTs, whatever you want to call it, up here on this space. We'll be running it for another 30 minutes or so. So all right, I see we have a speaker request, and also we have someone's hand raised. EXO, what's going on, man? And then after that, we'll pass it back over to Cusco.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're doing good, man. You're doing great.
Hey,
What's going on, brother?
cool. Hi guys, nice being here. Well, I just stumbled upon this space before going to sleep actually, and I found some really interesting topics that we're discussing here, which caught my attention, to be honest. And well, I figured I'll just jump in for a little second and say a few words about what we've been doing in the space and some things that are actually similar to many of the topics that you guys approached during this space. We're actually building a play to earn fully on-chain and multi-chain game, space-themed game. And we are actually new on MultiversX. We just launched our social channels lately. We're coming from the Ethereum side, and now we are updating our roadmap, and we are looking into launching our game on MultiversX, and then also restarting on Ethereum side with a few improvements in staking process and overall user experience with some UI improvements. Um, and there were a lot of things talked in this space that are actually things that we've been doing while building our game throughout the 1.5 year already since we've been working on it. Some of them are basically some innovation sites, which stands like for dynamic NFTs, which are basically um, giving the user the ability to customize their NFTs, evolve them while playing the game, and then also being able to sell them on secondary markets. All the in-game items that we're having, researchable items, are as well semi-fungible tokens that can be traded both in-game and on secondary markets. You can either burn them to increase your your stats or sell them to on secondary market as NFTs as well. We have a very advanced tokenomic system. Users can stake their NFTs, draw from daily faucet, trade their NFTs on secondary exchanges, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's about it in a few words. If that's what I wanted to say, and thank you for having me here. And it was pleasure listening to all the topics that have been raised so far.
No problem, man. So it's kind of like Pokemon, yeah, like Digimon, evolving NFTs and all those things. I think that's a pretty interesting concept, man. Grit Cult, Dow, Kimchi. If you guys want to say anything to what EXO just said, feel free to do so. We'll start with Dow. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, just a general note on the overall conversation, and I have to go my back because my phone is running out of batteries. But I love what Flu was saying. I think the ideal onboarding for users and gamers is to abstract the wallet as much as possible. So, like, just to like to brainstorm a little bit with you guys is, I think the ideal scenario is you get a gamer, whether it's direct you to the game or a gaming platform. They kind of log in. It looks like a Web2 login, and until you absolutely need to introduce them to a wallet, right? Maybe they've earned a sword, or they did a racing game and they earn a car. Now you can kind of introduce the option of saying, hey, well, you have this wallet where you can actually drop your NFTs into, and then you have this marketplace where you can actually sell those items, and potentially a bunch of other financial services that they get access to once they're on board to the wallet. So maybe like a progressive decentralization or progressive wallet where it starts as a regular game. There's no indication that it's like a Web3 or an NFT platform at all, but you have built in this capacity to bridge them into the Web3 world, into the NFT world. And we have all those marketplaces. GameStop is working on their own as well. We also have like lending for NFTs. So all this I guess this financial ecosystem is ready to onboard those gamers, and I think that's the smoothest experience, right? They don't have to scream and say, "Oh, those NFTs are bullshit," blah 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 blah, because they don't want to hear it or they won't see it unless they actually choose to be onboarded. So reduce the complexity. So I think that's the way I see it, man. If you guys have additional ideas, I may have a couple more minutes, but I'd love to hear your takes on that.
Yeah, man. After we give our thoughts and all that, we'll pass it over to Cusco, and then we'll begin to wrap up. My dinner just arrived, and I do have to go train. So, Grit, I saw you come off mic, so we'll pass it over to Grit, and then we'll pass it over to Adam, and then Cusco, and then we'll wrap up this space.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, everything that you guys been saying regarding like gaming and wallet integration, I totally agree with. I would say like there are some companies already doing that because we've partnered with them. And what we're trying to build as well in terms of like subscription based infrastructure yeah, we want it to be, one or two clicks, and then you have a recurring kind of payment. So all of that kind of requires way more abstraction, and I think and I mentioned earlier the 4337 standard that's just kind of come in, which is account abstraction. Again, yeah, like we're trending in the right direction. And I remember Wabi, I was in a space around September with you, I think, or October, and I was talking about, yeah, like we're not going to onboard people if they're going to have to memorize, wallet keys and all this other kind of shit. So I think, yeah, we're definitely going in the right direction, and I think the games of tomorrow will just be, people think they're just games, and on the back end it'll just be blockchain and you can trade them. It'll just be so seamless, and onboarding, it won't be that much of a barrier as it is now.
We'll pass it over to Adam.
Yeah, hi everybody. Congrats for the space, first of all. And yeah, for those, I just want to go back a little bit to what Uliana from XO said. For those who are not aware of MultiversX and stuff like that, I do recommend you to follow DB Crypto. He has these amazing threads about the entire space and also cross-chain stuff. So from my point of view, it doesn't matter if you are from MultiversX, Cardano, Solana, Ethereum, whatever. As long as we all kind of work together, there's room for everyone. And I think the ultimate and main goal is adoption, and we all do our small part on different buildings to build the, let's say, the web3 city, to call it like that.
All right.
And that's all.
Awesome, man. No problem, man. Good to have you up here, brother. Man, just brought you back up. So if you want to finish the statements that you were given, man, feel free to go ahead, man.
Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
good, man.
I'm going to be fast so my internet doesn't rock me again. Yeah, so guys, just head over to play.mindgames.io. You can find the beta testing over there. We have our first iteration ready, the first game mode. It's a combination between Hearthstone and Auto Chess. You need at least 3 Minds NFT to actually try it. The game is already done. We're just searching for bugs. I think you will find a great gaming experience, and I hope you will come to the community pretty soon.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you being here. So, with that being said, I think we're going to wrap up here. I want to thank our co host for the day, XOX No NFT. I want to thank Gritcole. I want to thank Flu for coming up at the end of the space. I want to thank Dow. I want to thank Payne, Kimchi, EXO for coming up, Adam, Cusco, and the individual behind Mind Games, and also for We Cow Cow and the Elrond Mafia for coming up and talking shop. A good variety of topics were discussed here, and you can catch a recording of this space over here on Twitter or up on our YouTube channel in the next few minutes. And if you enjoy this content, feel free to follow us here at Because Bitcoin. I'm gonna go ahead and post the link to our next space. So it should pop up. So yeah, tomorrow we're gonna be hosting Eigenlayer, and we're gonna go over with what they're doing in the Ethereum LSD ecosystem. It's gonna be me and Dow. It's gonna be a pretty insane space. Look forward to that. And on Saturday we're gonna have our usual bear chain spaces. We didn't have one of those last week, but we'll be coming back with that this Saturday. And if you enjoy content like this, I'm always hosting spaces throughout the week at different times and really just catering to the time schedules of our guests. From what I understand, most of our guests here do come from pretty much the other, like halfway across the globe from where I'm at. So really appreciative of that. And I'd appreciate it if the remaining individuals in the space could give all of our speaker panel a follow. So with that being said, take care, everyone. God bless you. Thank you so much for your support and for taking the time to listen to us here at Because Bitcoin. And huge shout out again, once again, to Gricold. He's been joining me on these spaces. Really great value add. Really a good example of a founder. Same thing with Flu. They're always on spaces, talking shop with other community members. So thank you all once again. My name's Wabi. I'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Feel free to check out our pinned tweet at Because Bitcoin. So goodbye, everyone. I'm going to go eat, and then I'm going to go train some shoulders. I'm going to train barbell shoulder presses, standing dumbbell presses, lateral raises, front raises. I'm going to do my lat pull downs, my cable rows, my rear delt flies, my supinated bicep curls, my incline bicep curls, preacher curls, tricep push downs, and some incline skull crushers on the easy bar. And that's what it's all about, right? And Grico just asked me, what's my overhead press? Uh, so I really train for reps, but I can rep out 315 on barbell push presses on the axle bar for 10 reps. My goal is to do 20. And yeah, man, thank you all so much. Peace out. That's enough rambling from me. I'm going to go eat some salmon and some jasmine rice. Take care, everyone. God bless you. Thank you all so much for the support. It's been an honor speaking with you all this evening. Take care.